Hey everyone! Welcome technically to my first video of 2018. The lookbook was uploaded first, but I filmed that just before Christmas, so this is my first official one. How exciting! So I wanted to start off with a current favourites video. I have a bunch of stuff that I've been excited to share with you and talk about, so let's get straight into it. The first thing that I have been waiting to blabber about is Dark, a series on Netflix called Dark. I'm not actually going to tell you too much about the show because I went into it knowing nothing about it and I enjoyed it so much, and I think that so rarely happens now when you watch something and you don't know anything about what's going to happen, and I've really enjoyed that. The only thing I would say that I kind of wish I had known before I started watching it was to pay attention to the characters and the names and the relationships. I didn't realise how much I needed to pay attention to that when I first started watching it. I've watched the first season nearly 3 times now, and even after watching it several times, like, things slot into place for me a little bit differently and better, and I pick up on different things. It's one of those shows. It blew my brains out all over my laptop and I loved it. They do a fantastic job of like setting up this mystery and then gradually giving you like little breadcrumbs and little bits to piece it all together right up until the final scene of the last episode. They're giving you little bits and it just keeps you hooked. It's very like talky. There's lots of like chatting between characters. I love that, but I guess perhaps some people would get bored, but every conversation is giving you little bits, little things, and you're just like sipping up all the information. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's great. I loved it. I was hooked. It's in German. I probably should have said that. It's a German show. It's all in German. I would recommend reading subtitles rather than listening to the dubbed version. Even though I can't understand German, I just think you can feel a good performance. Some people were comparing the show to Stranger Things, and I can see why. Like, when I first started watching it, there were little things that I was like, oh, it's quite similar. But it's so different. It is so different. It has such a different tone. There are some similarities, so I see why people made the comparison, but it is absolutely its own thing. As the name kind of suggests, it is darker than Stranger Things. It's a bit more adult. I think it has a really strong aesthetic of its own. The soundtrack is incredible. The music composed for the series is amazing. There's this like little violin piece of music that's so creepy and beautiful, and I love it. And then the music, like the songs that they use in the show, fantastic. They nail the aesthetic with their music. Yeah, watch Dark on Netflix if you want to. It's really good. Another Netflix recommendation is Wormwood. I started watching Wormwood straight after Dark because you know when you've been really into binge watching something and then it ends and you're just like that John Travolta meme, you're just wandering in a desert of nothing. And I'd seen Wormwood, I thought it looked quite interesting. Didn't know anything about it. Again, I just started watching it and it's fantastic. It's really interesting. It wasn't what I expected. It's a documentary series and it has like interviews and real life footage and stuff mixed in with some dramatised scenes that are really cinematic, really beautifully done, really well acted.
They take him to New York Tuesday morning, early Saturday morning, he's dead. What was my father doing? What was the CIA doing? What happened there?
It's about the death of a man who potentially knew too much and was a liability. It's really fascinating. I think you'll enjoy this if you're interested in true crime, documentaries and conspiracy-esque type stuff. I have a couple of music recommendations next, and the first one I discovered through Dark. It was a song featured in an episode and I just fell in love with it as soon as I heard it. It's called Me and the Devil and it's a cover by Soap and Skin. Kind of sounds like a body wash range. It's a cover of a song written in the 1930s by Robert Johnson, and I'm just obsessed with it. I have listened to it on repeat for days. I think Alex is a bit sick of it by now. It's really haunting and beautiful and kind of eerie and dark, but at the same time I find it kind of motivating for some reason. I think it's the strings, there's like a little violin in the background going din 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 din. Love is a Battlefield by Pat Benatar as well. I used to love this song so much when I was younger. I found it because of Xena. I used to make Xena music videos, so any song that made a reference to battles, I found it when I was a kid and used it in a music video. And I love it, but I haven't listened to it in years, and then my brain the other day just sort of threw it up out of the vaults and was like, we haven't listened to this in a very long time, we like this. Next is a jumper. This is a second-hand jumper that my mum gave me. I think it's actually a second-hand hand-me-down. I think my mum might have got it second-hand and then given it to me. It's from River Island originally. It's so soft and comfy. I've been wearing it a lot. Too much, I need to clean it, but it's just so nice and snuggly just for like wandering around the house in. I've been wearing it constantly just with some leggings while I wander around doing some cleaning up and whatnot. And there's something a little bit 80s about it to me. I don't know, something about the pattern. I love it very much. Thank you, Mum. Next is another item of clothing that I posted on Instagram the other day, a little picture of. It's my new coat. I got a Parka coat from ASOS. I'd worn the same parka for about 5 years, and then I went to try and find it this year when it got really cold, and apparently I donated it and just forgot. So I didn't have a warm coat and I'd just been wearing jackets for so long, and it was okay, but it was kind of freezing my tits off, and I'd been looking around for like different parkas and stuff, and I just hadn't seen one that I really liked. And then I found this one. It is by Pimkey. Never heard of them, to be honest, but I got it from ASOS. It has a fake fur hood, kind of furry lining. I'm obsessed with this colour. I really, really love it. I feel like Lara Croft whenever I wear coats like this. I very nearly bought this one because I wanted to feel kind of like Antarctica Lara Croft, but I thought this was a kind of safer bet for like matching with things. The hood is massive, kind of swallows me up a little bit, but I'm still getting used to that and just like where to position it on my head so that it doesn't eat me. A few people were asking me about the fake fur hood and how can you be sure that it's not real fur. You might already know there was some controversy when they discovered that in lots of high street shops, things that were being sold as fake fur actually contained real fur. I actually have this little card, which is how to tell the difference between real fur and fake fur. It has like some tips. This was made by Humane Society International, and this was actually sent to me by a friend of mine over at Lush. I posted a picture of this on my Twitter. If you want to go find it and like save it to your phone if you find this helpful. I'm pretty sure if you Google it, there's probably lots of resources out there as well to help you tell the difference. After I bought this, I did the burning test on it, I checked the ends, I sniffed it, I blew on it, I did all the tests I could think of, and I'm pretty sure that it's fake fur. But it is worrying, it is really worrying that you don't necessarily know anymore. Something else I've been loving is Plum Rain from Lush. This isn't a new product to me, you might remember I mentioned it last year. The reason I've been really enjoying it at the minute is I'm really missing summer and sunlight and warmth and all that good stuff. And I used this pretty consistently during the past summer, and especially when I went on that trip to Cornwall, when I went to the monkey sanctuary. And you know how smell is the sense kind of most closely linked with memories, and it can really trigger vivid like memories. It can really take you back somewhere. This has just really been doing that for me. It really takes me back to summer and to just the feeling and the vibes and the summery goodness. So this is just getting me through winter. Next are some vegan goodies. This is the first vegan fudge I've ever seen in a supermarket. I found out about this thanks to my friend Lindsay. She bought me a pack for my birthday and she said she got it in Sainsbury's, and I was like, what? Vegan fudge in a supermarket? What? I went into my local Sainsbury's and honestly didn't expect it to be there, but no, there it was on the shelf in the sweetie section, and there were 2 different flavours. It's by Eve's Tree. There's super strawberry fudge and cranberry and orange fudge. My favourite is the strawberry one, but they're both incredible. It's really tasty. Fudge is one of the things I've always found the most difficult to find a vegan version of, especially like widely available. You could always get it online, but it's kind of a bit of a pain in the bum sometimes. You just want to be able to walk into a shop and buy something. This is the first time that I personally have ever seen vegan fudge in a supermarket around here. Go try some, go support them, let Sainsbury's know this is what we want. Thank you. Next, I want to recommend an audiobook I've been listening to. I listen to audiobooks almost every single night as I fall to sleep. I find it difficult to sleep just laying there in the dark on my own. I feel like my anxiety takes over and then I can't sleep. If I'm really knackered, I can probably fall asleep on my own, but most of the time I like to have someone kind of talking to me as I fall asleep. I was listening to a different audiobook before this one and I stopped halfway through because it was a crime one. And normally I can listen to them and fall asleep sometimes, but this one started getting into necrophilia. And it wasn't very relaxing. It kind of kept me awake, so I moved on to this. This is called The Idiot Brain. It's by Dean Burnett, who's a neuroscientist. I've listened to the section about sleep and I'm on the section about memory at the minute. And it's so fascinating. I love hearing stuff about like brains and how we work and stuff. Like I've got my little brain tattoo because I'm so fascinated by it. We're so freaking weird and interesting. I'll play a little bit so you can hear if his voice sounds kind of relaxing to you. I think it is. I like his voice personally.
Chapter 2. The Gift of Memory. Keep the receipt. The human memory system and its strange features.
Even though it is very sciencey, it's not super heavy. I think it's quite easy to understand the way he explains it. There's some funny bits in there as well. I think it's really good. I definitely recommend it if you're interested. Last but not least, this is something I showed you in a video recently, but it's one of my favourite things, so I wanted to talk about it again. My photo album that I got for my birthday from my mum. I'm gradually working my way through all my photographs, trying to get them in order because I really want to put these in, you know, in chronological order. I'm going to start this from the holiday in Devon where I proposed to Alex. I think our engagement is a good starting point for our life together in here, but then I want to get another photo album with everything like leading up to that point when I was a bit more of like a teenager and we just moved out. And then this is, you know, our life together from engagement on. You know, on Instagram when you arrange your feed in an aesthetically pleasing way, like it just happens for me by accident. I don't really think about my theme or anything too much, but every now and again the layout will just work and it just looks really good. Well, this is like a real life version of that. I love that I have 3 photographs each side to arrange in like a nice little way, and it's gonna be so nice and so pretty and I'll really enjoy looking through it and writing in it. I've only printed out a handful of photos at the minute. I'm waiting until I got my taxes paid and out the way so that I can spend loads of money on printing photographs. It's not that expensive, to be fair. It's not that costly, but I have a lot of photographs. That's everything I have to show you for now. I really hope you enjoyed this. Sorry I've been kind of hit and miss with my videos lately. I've been in a real funk, and I know I mentioned it like a while back. Well, I'm still in it and I don't like to keep going on about it because I don't want to whinge and, you know, I'm not looking for sympathy. Just know that I care and I'm trying, and I have so many goals and things that I would like to do this year, and I'm determined to navigate my way through the brain fog and get there. Before I go, I'm going to give some shout outs to my $30 patrons over on Patreon. Thank you so much, Elizabeth and Kiana. I think you two are the most recent $30 patrons. Thank you so much. Lena, I'm still worried I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I looked it up. I looked up a pronunciation for the name Lena, but I'm not very confident in myself. Kirsty McDonald, Sophie Avenel and Lauren Kaya. Thank you so much, all of you. I really appreciate it. My $15 Patreon, I'm getting tired. My $15 Patreon rewards are having a little bit of a shake up. We're doing Patreon packs now. I'm working on the first one right now. I might show you the entire thing in a video soon rather than sit here and explain it all. There's more information over on Patreon about it, but I think it's going to be really good. I'm really excited about it. I've been doing some writing for it. There's going to be like a little like a pen pal note / physical blog post kind of thing, and eventually when I open a PO box my patrons are welcome to write back to that. And I'm really enjoying writing. I think writing is something I enjoy that I've not properly paid attention to, like photography, filmmaking, painting and all that They're passions of mine that I have really cultivated the past few years, but writing I haven't. And I used to write stories all the time when I was growing up. I did a journalism course. I was really, really into writing, but it just sort of went on the back burner. But with these Patreon packs, I'm getting back into it again, and I'm really enjoying it. It's going to be a mixture of fun little things in there each month. And yeah, I'm really excited to do it. So thank you so much all my patrons for sticking by me. Yeah, that's all I have for you for now. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye.